let the world know. World of Israel. Snap your fingers, snap 'em. Snap your fingers, snap 'em. World of Israel. Snap your fingers, snap 'em. Ain't nobody greater, ain't nobody greater. You say that you love him, but you won't even keep his laws to save your life. You say that you need him, but when problems arise, you try to solve it your way. You say that you wanna go back with him. I know that that's a fact, but what is the use when you won't serve him? I advise you to serve the Lord right now. The Most High is the best. Ain't nobody greater. He'll help you through your test. Ain't nobody greater. He's Lord God. Oh, yeah. He's his heart. When problems knock you down, he won't let you hit the ground. So please just remember this. Ain't nobody greater. You say that there's nothing wrong with breaking God's laws. You say that there's nothing wrong, and nothing bad will happen to you. But don't you know if you don't repent? But don't you know you're gonna die? But don't you know you're gonna die? But don't you know you're gonna die? But don't you know? But if you repent, but don't you know to save your life? But don't you know you're gonna rise? The Most High is the best. Ain't nobody greater. He'll help you through your test. Ain't nobody greater. He's Lord God. Oh, yeah. He's his heart. When problems knock you down, when it gets hard, so please just remember this. Ain't nobody greater. Sometimes in our lives we will make mistakes, but you gotta pray. He who overcomes will inherit all things. God says, for all have sinned and have fallen short of the glory of God. God searches the heart and he searched the mind. He treats you as you are and not what you pretend to be. The Most High is the best. Ain't nobody greater. You through your test. Ain't nobody greater. He's Lord God. Oh, yeah. He's his heart. When problems knock you down, he won't let you hit the ground. So please just remember this. Ain't nobody greater. Ain't nobody greater. Ain't nobody greater.
Thank you for tuning into Bethel, BHG TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Now our host, Pastor Johnson.
Greetings. I tell you. It is just good to be in the land of the living. It's good to be here. Good to see you. Hope and pray that everything is well with everyone. Sunday night. Wow, the first day of the week. Now it's Monday. Sun is down. Now it's Monday. Second day of the week. And we're off to another work week. And what else can we say? It is good. It's good to be here, tuned in with you all. Last night, I did a car cam last night. That car cam was late. I was coming from West Palm Beach, Florida, and I had a good opportunity to sit down with Elder Mario Levette. Comes on sometimes on More TV. And so we went to a place called Texas Longhorn. I think that's what it was. And sit down and just, Elder Mario Levette, he moved to West Palm Beach. He was my assistant, and he moved to West Palm Beach. And it was just good to go up, drive up, and sit down and break bread. That's what it's good to do. So I drove back last night. It was late, but I had a little battery left, and I made it actually all the way home. I actually made it, and as soon as I came down my street, and I was saying, I'm going to get off because the battery is going to go dead. And I went on to say something else, and the battery went dead. But it was good just to talk. And sometimes when you're driving in the car like that, you think a lot, and some of your best thoughts, at least with me, comes when I am driving. I don't have any music. Things just start to roll in your mind, and some of your best thoughts and best lessons come that way, and that's how it works. So it was a good conversation, and many of you all had joined in with us. Let me just say shout out to who's in our chat room real quick. We have in our chat room, let's go over here and see who we have. Sister Susan H. in the chat room. Brother Brian Johnson, Sister Shanika Jackson. Alva Ellis is in the room. How you doing, Sister Alva? Terry Harper's in the room. Brother Abraham Talbert. All the way, our Bethel family, all the way up in St. Mary's, Georgia. There's Sister Linda Jones Vickers. And let's see, Chiruta Katrina is in the house. Jason Phillip. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings to you also, Jason. There's Juanita Carew, Isaiah, Israel. All right, peace and blessings to you. And there is our Brother David East in the chat room. And Brother Isaiah is on the Facebook side. Y'all know how we treat the Facebook. We're trying to build it up. All right. Our Facebook is in the house tonight. I titled this tonight, Bethel Class Reopens. There's Sister Tracy Durham in the chat room. We're going to give Sister Tracy a big applause. And a double applause, a double. And yes, brothers and sisters, a triple. Sister Tracy and her husband, Brother Stephen, they drove by the house tonight. They are wonderful, wonderful people, and they drove by the house tonight, this evening, not tonight, but this evening, and dropped off a piece of peach cobbler. And while the music was playing, I had to call them up because I had took the peach cobbler, put it inside the microwave, and I had some vanilla ice cream after it came out of the microwave and put on top. And let me tell you, we had movie night tonight, and my wife and daughter had apple pie that they wanted to get rid of, that they got from Grand Lux Cafe. So they said, we're going to finish the apple pie. And I said, well, I'm going to do my peach cobbler, and then you all finish that up, and you can have some peach cobbler later during the week. But we indulged in just having a family night, a movie night. That's what we did. We did a movie night, and just It was just relaxing to get that peach cobbler. Let me tell you. So let me tell you, Sister Tracy, do do keep that recipe. That's all I can say. Now she got that recipe from her mother, and it's a family recipe, I believe, but she knows how to do it. So keep that recipe. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, it is something to contend with in any place, especially when you heat that thing up and it just comes out of the piping hot, and the crust is just I can't even imagine how to even describe it. When you put the ice cream on it, bam, and it was just the best. So thank you, Sister Tracy and Brother Stephen, for um, thinking of us and to be so kind to swing by and just drop it off. And it was that was great. That was awesome. Sister Peggy Russell, Sister R. Bryant in the house, Sister Tara in the house. Thank you all for coming in to tune in tonight. Now, we're talking about tonight the Bethel class reopening. Yes, Bethel will be reopening. I had an opportunity to speak to Pastor Bowie sometimes this afternoon, and just to discuss the reopening. And so we're going to open it. We're opening up the doors. We're doing it full reopening, and that's going to be this Sabbath. And I want to talk about some things that we're going to be doing different at Bethel, very different. And it's worthy to talk about because whenever you do something, we have been closed for over a year. That is unprecedented. It has never happened. Hopefully, it would never happen in our lifetime again. So I wanted to just talk about that tonight. That's what I wanted to talk about, was the reopening, and because this coming Sabbath, the doors will be open. We're going to be notifying everyone. This is a form of that notification right now. This is a form of that notification to let people know that we will be reopening. How are we going to reopen? Very wisely, very progressively, and methodically. What I'm going to do is make sure that on Fridays, that the place has been completely sprayed and sanitized. We're going to do that every week so that when we come in, now there's a mist that we spray. There's several different techniques out there, but we have a technique that has been proven to be reliable, using a solution that is reliable, because COVID is still out there. It's still in existence. And whenever you open up like this, and the way that Florida has opened up in the past few weeks, and the way the United States is opening up as aggressively as we have been in the past few weeks, you have to expect, or at least prepare, to continue to minimize the spread of the virus. A lot of people have been vaccinated. A lot of people have elected not to get vaccinated. And for whatever reason, that's personal between you and your doctor, and your decision. But nonetheless, we're going to reopen, and we're going to do it like some of the restaurants have done it, and it's worked well. It's not that we're following people. We look at what has happened and what has worked. That's all that you can do. And it's such a situation like this. There are no written rules. The rules are made up as you go along, because you do things on best practices based upon what is working and what is not working. So we do know that we still need to open up, and we need to reopen in a way that we continue social distancing. If you are able to wear a mask, and because you haven't been vaccinated, and we're not going to ask people, have you been vaccinated? Did you get vaccinated? Did you get vaccinated? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be asking people for cards. It's a personal decision that people have made. But what we want to do is that when we do open, I think that I think that the onus or the ownership is on people to know that if you have traveled outside the country, and in South Florida everybody travels out of the country, that you say, you know what, I just got back. Today is Friday. Let me hold off going to service. You may even want to hold off going to work for a few days just to see how you're going to be. And if you have some sort of fever, don't come. That's it. Just don't come. Don't go to work. You shouldn't even go to work. You shouldn't even go around any of your family. Shout out to Sister Margot on our Facebook side. Let's give her a shout out. Yeah, our Facebook people coming in. She said self-accountability. That's what it's going to come down to, self-accountability. You and me and everyone, if we have a cold and a slight fever, stay home that day. That's all. It's because we're going to continue to stream live. We were streaming live years before COVID. We were streaming, and so now we're going to continue to stream. So if you're local, and if you if you've been watching, come. You can come now. And we're asking families to sit together because this is new for everybody. Okay, it's going to be new. So we have to break the ice very methodically and very wisely. So when you come, if you come in a car with people, sit with the people that you came in the car with, right? Sit on the same bench. If somebody, comes in on that seat, scoot down and leave some space. People like space. And I think when you walk in, just like you do at a grocery store, you have to pick up on people. You really do. You got to pick up on people's vibes and their reaction, their body language. I go down to when I go to a grocery store, and it's called Publix here in South Florida, and some people, you can be going down the aisle, you can have a mask on, but but when they see you coming, they'll make a U-turn, right? Or they'll step out of the way, letting you go by. They won't come up on you, and those are people who are not comfortable. And that's okay, okay? It's okay that people are not comfortable. They have that right to be uncomfortable. And so when we come back to service, no matter wherever you are, because I know that as Pastor Bowie told me today, he has made the announcement, and people are going to be going back everywhere. So just the etiquettes of reopening. Look at people's body language and see how they are. Some people are going to be reaching out their hands to shake hands, But if you do that, if you're one of those people that are comfortable in doing that, the other person may respond with a little fist, and you have to respect that. That's all. They may just give you the elbow, okay? They may not even do anything at all. They may just look at you. I try not to I try not to be the person, especially handshaking, to reach out to shake hands. That's just me. I'm not gonna reach out and make a person feel obligated, but at the same time, you don't have to be obligated to do that. Just simply, let people know how you feel. Sometimes people may not say anything. They just might say, okay. Sister Latoya Moore says, my family and I are definitely planning to visit all the way from Baxley, Georgia. It will be a pleasure to have you come, Sister Latoya. And that goes to another thing. Let me stay on this etiquette thing, and then I want to jump over to timing of our hours of operation. But yeah, some people just may not feel comfortable. That's it. And just understand that. I think it's improper to tell people, oh, don't worry about that. God's got us covered. That's improper because you're challenging people's faith. And when you say things like that, it's almost as if you're saying that you got faith and they don't. No, it's people have the right to be comfortable. We have faith in the word. So people are at different levels. People are at different realms, and different understandings, and we have to respect that. So all I'm saying is that when we come back, some people are not going to want to shake. They might want to do the fist bump, or they may want to do the elbow bump, or they just might say, "Hey, how you doing?" And that's okay. Some people are going to have their mask on. We're going to have a container at the door when you come in, and that's where you can just get the standard solution, Perel to just the suds Perel to just keep your hands clean and stuff like that. And we're going to have masks available. But I think the people by now have masks and have enough masks. But we're going to have some there, and for people in case they leave them, we're going to have head covering there. In case somebody forgets it. Now, we normally buy head covering because we at that size where you have 150 people, and if 4 or 5 people forget their head covering, the ladies, we give them a new one for free. It's a gift. And so I'm gonna get that and get back on what we used to do. Bethel is, so I think that's enough on the etiquette part, at least rules of engagement. Just, when the people may not be comfortable. People are not going to be hugging. You have to pick up the vibe from the other person. That's all. Just pick up the vibe and respect the vibe that the other person in this type of atmosphere and setting desires. That's all. Just be very careful and just be mindful and just be respectful to the comfort zone. That's a good word to use. The comfort zone that others may have in reopening. So that's where we're going to be at coming up, and it's a full opening. It's a full opening. So if you're comfortable, if it's your comfort zone for a full opening, we missed everybody. We really have missed everyone. And so just come on out. If it's within your comfort zone, come on out. And if your comfort zone is to come out and say, hey, but I'm still going to wear my mask, that's fine. And that's the best way. Common sense, and as Sister Margot put it, that's my sister-in-law over there, self-accountability is a key, and just just mindful of other space in a atmosphere, and it's going to take time. This is not over. This is the process of getting back to normalcy. And it's not overnight, it's a process. Some people are going back to work. Schools in South Florida, when they reopen, they're not going to, they may offer a hybrid of learning. So we don't know. We just don't know. It just depends on how this virus is going to adapt and how we're going to adapt with reopening. Is it going to raise the numbers up, or are we at herd immunity? Have we got it under control by changing our lifestyle? Because let me tell you, it's here. And I just saw some place where the numbers are going up. I think it was Russia. I'm not for sure that they're starting to get 1,000 cases a day. And those type of things we don't want to see. That being said, I want to get into Sister Latoya Moore, our hours. Bethel, because we had a skeleton crew, like our people that, that helps us behind the scenes doing the video and working the software, the cameras, and the scriptures on the board. We have a whole complete outfit over there, and our musicians, we were doing that live, and our elders and some of the elders and the wives, because we were doing what we call teaching training. A lot of people came, their spouses, and then if there was somebody that came, we didn't tell them they could not come, but we just let them know that we're not officially reopened, but they were welcome to stay. And they did, and it started to be about 20, 25 people. One week it kind of scared me. We got up to almost like 70 people, and I was like, wow. But people just didn't know. So when we do come back, service, the official time of service is at 12:30. I would get there earlier, but at 12:30, the praise and worship, I asked them to start. I told our musicians I want them started. I want them to get going at 12:30, and we want to have our praise and worship to go right up until 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, I will be bringing the lesson, and by 2:30, I want to be completely out. So if you get there, and if you're traveling, try to get there at least. You can, now the doors will be open. Let's talk about the doors. The doors will be open by 11:30, because at 11:30 to 12:30, we have been teaching like sort of like a Bible study, and we've been doing something dealing with how to teach and presenting and dealing with students, and so that's what we've been doing. But we've been adding a subject with it. We've been talking about end time, and so how to teach it, and so you just have to get there to understand it. So that's at 11:30 to 12:30. But as I told our musicians, I said 12:30, things need to be set up. I want us to start. And at 1 o'clock, the lesson. So if you, anytime You get there, just know at 1 o'clock the lesson will be started. If you like some singing, I would get there at 12:30. Encourage you to get there at 12:30. And at 2:30, we want to be out the door, completely out. Just walking out the door. We have an offering box in the back. So when you come in, the usher will give you an envelope. You can fill it out at your seat. And on the way out, you can drop it off. And we also, you can always do it online because we have those options as well as we do up here. Those are our those that desire to give. Those are the many options that you can give at Bethel. And speaking of giving, we know that when this reopening happens, we know that we're going to have to expand. We know that. We know that Bethel has grown, the membership has grown, and we do have the land to do what we need to do. And we thank the Lord for the land that we have. We own a block. It goes from one block, one street, all the way. We're on 4th Avenue, so it goes from 5th Street to 6th Street. 5th Street is a name called Foster Road, and we go all the way down to 6th Street and have all that frontage property on the avenue there. And so we do have the means or the property to move forward and to build. And we're looking at our options. I just spoke with one of our realtors who's a member who, at Bethel to start looking just in case. We're just looking at our options, that's all. We're going to speak with a contractor and an architect to find out what we can do. And this is why when we look at what we can do and look at what's available, then we can make a better informed decision. But the way things are now, we will be building. It looks like that the needle is leaning over to adding on to the existing structure. And I like it in that neighborhood. And I tell you why, because they have poured a lot of money into reconstruction into that neighborhood. They have taken a lot of the abandoned property and they have built it up. They have some of the empty stores, they have purchased it, and they have put, it's sort of looking like a live, work, and play community, a live, work, and play. They put a state-of-the-art fire department training center just 2 blocks away. And they are going to be building a live, work, play type of living community just across from that, all walking distance where Bethel is. And the property value has really gone up. So we are really looking at our options and what we're going to be doing. And so that being said, during construction, we may have to, we will. If we build there, we will have to temporarily hold class in one of the other community buildings within the area while construction is going on. So we are also preparing for that as well. I did meet and with a pastor and to see what we could possibly do. And so I'm going to also meet with the city because there's a new community center right down the street. And so we're looking at options, but that 12:30 to 2:30. That's our service hours, 12:30 to 2:30. And again, if you want to just get there at 11:30 and be a part of just additional learning, that's great too. So we'll leave that option up to you. We used to have lunch after service every Sabbath. Bethel provided the lunch. And it really, it was a meal. I can't say it was lunch. It was a meal. And we provided it. And we just wanted people to break bread. We had cold cuts, whether it was cold cut, the wings that are cold cuts. We had the sandwich, the cold salads and the breads, and I mean, we really ate good. We really ate good every Sabbath before COVID, and we fed everybody. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to open up with that on the table. When we leave, we're going home. And so that's how we're going to do it. And the reason for that is because of we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and we want to be very cautious and how aggressive we are when we open. So basically, it's going to be praise and worship, the lesson, and we're going home. And that's a good way to open up. And we're going to be that way for a while. And the reason why we're going to be that way for a while is because I like to get construction started quickly. And so when you're in another building, we won't be able to have food anyway. So we're going to get used to it now. And then while construction is going on, we already would have been used to it. And don't have to think about it. The other thing is that I like to see people get their rest on the Sabbath. I think once we get to a full opening, then, the congregating and the fellowship will be there. And people, when they walk out the door, they're going to fellowship because they do that now. Just a little few crew that we have there now, people still fellowship. They come outside, and we have asked everybody to leave the building. They do, and when they're outside, they're getting in the cars, and that's what people do, and they're gonna do that. You can't stop that. Just like when people leave their work, or right now in the midst of a pandemic, some people get together and they keep their distance, and they get in their cars and go home. So I'm excited. Let me just say this: I am excited about opening up. I am. I'm really excited about getting things back together. Shout out to Judah Business, Brother Rodney Frederick, Sister Sheila Claytor, and Brother Mike Spears coming into the room. Shout out to you all. We're talking about the Bethel class reopening, and it will be this Sabbath. Yep, this Sabbath. So I'm going to be sending out a message to everybody and letting them know that we are opening, and we're going to reopen. Yep, I'm excited about that. So let's see here. I wonder if I can do it now while we're on the line live. I asked everybody online. I said, get your Subsplash. Yeah, there it is. Let me see if I can do it. If we know how to do it. Ooh. Yeah, there it is. Wow. I'm going to do it. I'm going to send it out right now. That'd be neat to do, to let people know that we're going to be reopening this Sabbath. Service starts at 12:30. So you're going to be here with me live when I send this out. Let's see here. How do we do this? In fact, you all do this with me. Let's go do this together. Let's see how we do this here. Let's see here. And this is what I do, when I have to do it. No, that's not it. Let me go back to messaging. Again, shout out to all of you all for apps. Is that it? Push notifications. There it is, right there. So we're gonna create a we're gonna create a notification, and we're gonna say hurrah! Explanation point. Bethel ReOpens. This Sabbath this Sabbath. I think we ought to put in the date, right? Let's see. And that date is going to be, this Sabbath will be, what, is that the 19th? Yeah, that'll be the 19th. So let's go back open. ReOpens June 19th, 2021 at 12:30 p.m. And let's say we look forward to seeing you again. Yeah. And we're going to put in morning Bible lesson at 11:30 a.m. Yeah, so you have to be almost very descriptive like this. That's it. At 11:30 a. Yeah. And let's send this out right now. I don't like that. Something I don't like about it. I don't know. I think I'm going to take this part out. We just let them know it starts at 12:30 p.m. We look forward to seeing you again. Yeah. Social distancing still social distancing. See, I almost got to say, how am I going to say this? Social distancing to be practiced. That's right. And since I don't have enough words, I got to take a couple of these explanation points off. There we go. And it is going out right now. Boom. Now, once that goes out, it comes out over our phone. And that's how that goes. And let's see. I have the Bethel app. Here it comes. There it is. Wow. I don't know if y'all can see it, but no, you can't. But it just came up on my phone. It says, hurrah, Bethel reopens this Sabbath, June the 19th, 2021 at 12:30 p.m. We look forward to seeing you again. Social distancing to be practiced. That's music to some people. And it's great. It's great. Somebody says, I got it. Sister Katrina says, I see it. Sister Latoya says, got it. That means they have the Bethel app, brothers and sisters. And you can get the Bethel app by going to your Apple store. Just type in the word Bethel House of God. And you can also go to the Google Play Store and just type in Bethel House of God. And the phone app will come up. Download it and allow yourselves to get notifications, and it will come up. And that's great. That's how you do that. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. It's just going to be great and grand to see everyone again. It's going to be great to get another baptism going, which we have scheduled coming up. We're going to give you more information about that. We have 3 people on the list that's going to get baptized in the weeks to come, so we're going to give you more information on that. And Sister Latoya Moore and family, I want to say this because one of the things that we do, we have a nice house. Well, there's 2 houses. One is older than the other one, but the one that's a newer one, which is when you're facing Bethel, one of them, the older one, is on the corner, which is where we're going to tear down, and that's where the new class is going to be built at. And it's going to be connected to the existing building that we currently are operating out of. And then next door to that, on the opposite side of the church, is a newer house, and it's been converted to a dining hall. The walls are still up. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. We just put down AstroTurf in the front, and it came out beautiful. I mean, just wonderful. It looks great. And we have outside tables that you would see like at a park, and we resurfaced them, and it looks great. So that we did that so that when we do go back to eating, there's going to be plenty of room. We're going to have tents up and stuff like that, and we wanted the people to be on some nice AstroTurf. But that house that we're doing that of, we're going to make it. We're going to fully furnish it. It's going to go back to being a regular house, and it's going to have a living room. It's going to have the bedrooms, full kitchen. It is a kitchen now, but we're going to go back and make that a full house, and that's going to be an Airbnb. I think that's what they call it. So that when people come in town to visit Bethel, and especially those that are going to come in town to get baptized, you will have a nice place to stay. That's it. Nice place to stay. And you don't have to pay anything except when you leave, there's going to be a phone number you call, and a cleaning crew is going to come over and just clean up. Of course, people clean up after themselves, but they're just going to come in and there will be a price for that. There's a price for that, and it's not much. I think it's about $150 they charge, but they're going to come and clean up the house, and they will get that. That's somebody that's in the church, at Bethel. They will get that when you leave. You pay them, and they'll come in, and it'll be nice and prepared for the next family that comes in town. And if that's how we're going to do that. And where we're holding class at now, that would be the new dining hall. And then we have these nice windows. Well, the windows will become doors leading into the next newer building. And if we have weddings, they will be able to have a hall to eat and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do. And it's here, but we're going to put it on paper. So the scripture says, write the vision, make it plain. So the vision is there. We know what we're going to do because we want to have training conferences, training conference weekends. A lot of places do things like, we're going to have a youth retreat and all like that. We're going to have Bethel is going to be a learning conference center. That's what it's going to be. This place. That's what it's going to be called. This place. And I have an acronym for that. I'm not ready to share it yet, but the word this is an acronym for something. And it's going to be called This Place. But it's still Bethel. But the building is This Place. And when we come there, it's going to be nice chairs, nice stage. The lighting is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. State-of-the-art. And I want to have it where that it's outfitted that if we wanted to have something like a convention, a learning convention center, or a conference, we can do it because it's going to be designed to be a conference hall. So if you ever go into a hotel and you'll see a conference hall, and you go in, you're going to rent it, and they say, this is the conference hall. And they don't have the seats in it yet because you set them up according to the event. And that's how this place is going to be. It's going to have nice flooring, nice design walls with nice lights on it, stage lighting. It's going to be state of the art is what it's going to be. And I can't wait to get it up. And we're going to look at our options, if it's going to be steel structure or if it's going to be concrete block. And nice windows, all of that. When you walk in, it's going to be a nice atrium. When you walk inside the lobby, someplace that we all can be proud of. That's what it's about. And it's going to be. I'm excited about it. It's all about the reopening. I'm so excited about what we're getting ready to do here in South Florida with the Bethel class, and I know that one of the things that I'm going to try to do. I know we're going to be resuming and having the different teachers in the Israel of God rotate in like we used to do. So they're going to be rotating in. But my objective is to get Pastor Bowie here locally to be our guest speaker. Once we get the building up and finished, I want him. I'm going to be working on it to fly in and be one of our first speakers to come and teach the class that week. So I'm going to be working on that. I am. That's what I want to do. And so we have to get the seating capacity at least up to 500 people, and that's what we want to do, to get that seating capacity up to 500 and get it going. It's going to be grand. a nice grand place. And I'm big on having nice air conditioning. It's hot in South Florida, so I want state of the art air conditioning, whatever that means. That's what I want. I don't like walking into a hot place and you have to sit for 2 hours to get a lesson. I want it to be nice and cool. That when people come in, they can say, "Oh, it's cool in here. It's not hot." I don't. That's a pet peeve of mine, and I will spend, $20,000 on a nice AC system that's state of the art, energy efficient, and all of that. I just don't think that when people come, that there should be anything that they should be uncomfortable with when they come to learn this word. And we are a Bible study class. We have a model, and we have an affiliate group that we're behind, and they're behind us. And shout out to Pastor Henry Bowie, my teacher, just a well example of leadership. And I've been under leadership and leadership that I'm still under in respect. But let me tell you, Pastor Bowie is just an awesome person. Awesome, awesome. And I'm under that leadership. I respect it. When I was growing up, I had a wonderful pastor, the late Dr. S.P. Rollins, a phenomenal of a man. At the age of 14, 15 years old, I could just recall just sitting with him in his office. Sometimes he would be there just studying and writing things down. And I don't know how he got any studying done or any preparation because I was full of questions. But what an awesome man that was. Kaleem Hill, can I inbox you about something? Yes, please do. Yes, absolutely. Or you can send it to me right here at bethelhouseofgod@gmail.com. Shout out to Brother Kaleem I believe Brother Kaleem is up in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, so yes, email me right there, bethelhouseofgod@gmail.com. I'm just excited about reopening. I am. This is just great news. It's just awesome, brothers and sisters. I've been waiting a year and a half. Just about a year and a half. And it's been a rough road. It really has. But let me just say this. It has, do you do Facebook messaging? Let me see this. You could do that. You can try that. I don't do Facebook, but we're going live on Facebook, so that is our Facebook. So yeah, you can do that. Let me try it. Is it something you want me to look at now, or is it something later? Let me know. Which one is it? But yeah, I can't wait. I just can't wait to get back open. And I'm just really excited about it. A year and a half. I'm about to inbox you. Okay. Let me look at that real quick. Brother Kaleem is going to inbox me on something. And let me say this. I got to know how to do this, brother. I think I do. I'm not for sure. Wow. I got people here I'm supposed to confirm as friends. Wow, I apologize for not doing that. Wow. I just don't do this that much, brothers and sisters. Let's see. Brother Kaleem, I'm going to try to figure out how to do this. Wow, this is horrible. I just don't look at Facebook like that. Let's see. Man, this is not good. Not good. I got some. I got some catching up to do on this. Okay, so Brother Kaleem, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to look how to do it. I think I'm on I am on Facebook, and so I'm just inbox you, my brother. Okay, you said you just did it. Okay, I got it. I got it. I see you here. Would you? Okay, call me at. I'm sending you my personal cell phone number. So yeah, just do that during the week. Uh, I just sent you my phone number, my personal cell phone number, and we can have that discussion. That's great. Uh, th- um, and when I say my personal cell phone number, I want y'all to know that when you dial this number here, 1-833-423-8435, it goes to the class, but it also comes to me. So there's an option that says if you wanted to speak with me, hit that number. And then what it does, if I'm there, I will pick it up. If not, it will ring me right here on my phone. Okay, and I will get it. If I don't answer, it's because I did go back to work. I went back to work, people. I did. I went back to work. It's amazing. It's fun. It's the greatest thing. It's the greatest job I've ever had. I've worked for over 30 years in the public sector. And then I started a consulting firm, which I still have and run. And it's called Johnson Group Consulting. That's my website, johnsongroupconsulting.com. And I do consulting. Because I was in public government for so long, I help people how to, as a consultant, to navigate when it comes to dealing with the government, doing business with the government, and when you have government issues, municipal government, that is, local government, I show you how to approach the situation. So that's one of the things I do as Johnson Group Consulting. I've helped I remember helping a family. They wanted to, actually, they bought a house. They bought a house as is. They did a closing. They were so excited. And they were going into this house, and they, you have to be careful when you do these things, but they bought the house and they were they had started doing this work. And when they went to, the prior owner had permits. And so that owner closed out the permits, but now you got to get a certificate of occupancy. Well, the owner, he says it was the previous owner. They had about $35,000 of liens, city liens. And I got the phone call. How do we handle this? Now, I'm not an attorney, but I have attorneys that work with me. And so we were able to do it without bringing in one of our outside attorneys, and went in and got the liens down to zero, zero, zero. And they were so happy, and they were able to move in and live happily ever after. So those are the kind of things I do. But I went back to work, a full-time job, although I am retired, because I'm still young, and I have a lot of it. When I say a lot of expenses, this platform cost, and it costs me personally, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but many of you also help also. So thank you for that. But some things I have to do on my own. And I just do it. I just, I don't mind. But also at the same time, I like doing things. I don't want to live in a I don't like living in a budget. That's the best way to say it. That's just I'm not a person that likes living in a budget. So a retirement check will make you live in a budget. And no matter how good of a retirement system that you are in, the bottom line, you're living within a budget. I don't like living in a budget. I'm a very spontaneous person, and if I decide I want to get on a plane and go visit the Atlanta class, I want to do it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to see how much money I got. I want to do it. I want to whip out a credit card and I want to go pay it. And I want to pay it when I get back and I want to go. That's me. That's what I choose to do. So some people say, no, when I'm retired, I'm done. I'm not, because this past Sabbath, we gave recognition to one of our elders, 80 years old, 80 years old. And there was another lady in our class, 80 years old. In fact, they are born the same year, their birthday is the same. It just happens to be that way. And they both turn 80. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. This man, a few years ago, was working three jobs. And he says, no, man, this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me healthy. And he's 80 years old. So I asked him at the end of the class this past Sabbath, I said, how many jobs do you have now? I said, because the last time I asked, he had three. He said, no, I'm down to one job. I just have one job. And that's what he does. He's got one job. 80 years old, brothers and sisters. And he's not working because he has to. Trust me, he don't have to work. But he's working because he wants to work. He's like me. He doesn't like living in a budget. So he's working, and it keeps him healthy. And I said, that's my inspiration right there. So I went back to public government, and my daughter at the time, my wife and I, we've been married 21 years, but it was 10 years ago we decided to have a child between the two of us. And it's my wife's first, and she's 10 years old. And I started work when she was 8 years old. I was retired, and I said, she was at home, but when she started going to that first, that kindergarten and going to first grade, and she's going, and my wife's going. My wife is going to work, and I'm home, and I'm trying to work a consulting business. I'm at home by myself. I said, this don't work for me. And I said, you know what? She's 8. I'm going to get me a job, and I'm going to stay on that job for 10 years. And I found a job that I went back to public government, and I can retire in 10 years. And I got 8 more years to go. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm enjoying it. It's the best job I've ever had. It really is. I go in, I'm having a ball. So it's great, it's great. Because ministry costs. It does. And to get this word out, it costs. And I don't want to think about it. When I want to do it, I want to do it. That's what I want to do. And that's why I'm a giving type person. That's why I want to build the ministry with that mindset. That's why I want a house there, that when people come in town, they have a place to stay, not live, but to stay. So they're coming in town, they're going to get baptized. I don't want people to go spend $200 a night for a hotel. I want them to have a nice house that has brand new furniture, that has a brand new refrigerator, a washer and a dryer, an Airbnb. And they can come there, and it's a safe neighborhood, and it's a safe place, and they can come and walk right out of their door and walk 2 doors down and be inside service. Somebody says, well, that sounds like a place where the pastor would live. No, I have my own home. I want that to be for when people come to town. That's what I want. And I want them to stay and don't worry about that. I want them to come in town and just, that's the ministry. That's the mindset that we need to be in. And so it's going to be exciting. But let's get back to reopening. I've never shared that much information about myself, so I may delete it. I just don't like talking about me. But nonetheless, I'm just saying I'm excited to be reopened, brothers and sisters. This is going to be great. A year and a half or thereabout. Let's see. We stopped. I think we closed down in March. Yeah, March. So March of this year, February was a year. So March, April, May, June. Wow. It's a long time. But Bethel has grown in 2020. It has grown. Let me tell you, we've had people added to the church in 2020. I saw the class growing. Although we were not having class officially, I saw the class growing. And I was sharing with Pastor Bowie. I said, Pastor Bowie, something phenomenal has happened. I've never, the giving has never been like it was in 2020. It's 2021 is we're back there, but where we were last year. But last year, it has never, that's the highest. We'll see what we do this year, but we were able to do a lot because of the giving. Our property is paid off, brothers and sisters. Of course, we did that at the end of 2019, but we fed people every Thursday for about all the way up until this year. I think we stopped in February. We were not able to do it anymore. But we did. We went all the way from March all the way to February of this year. And we still continue to provide for people the first Sabbath of every month. But the amount of people on the first Sabbath of every month, it was just droves of people. Clothing that came in. People in the community says, I got clothes. They brought clothes of all sorts, and it was just a place that people all over knew that they could come. And they would get there, the shoes would be there, nice shoes. A brother this week, when we were down working, installing the AstroTurf, he says, Pastor, I like what I see you all doing in this community. And he says, I got some stuff. I'm going home to get it, because we still had the sign up that we do this every, the first weekend of every month. So he went and he came back in the truck and he says, I've been waiting to see you all so I can give it to you. And the nice pair of shoes, and I mean in boxes. He says, man, you know how life is good. You buy stuff, you wear it, you put it back in the box. He says there's plenty of nice stuff in there. And there was a young man coming down the street. Not a young man. He was a mid-aged man, but he was obviously having some financial challenges and stuff. And so he knew the young man. He says, hey, what size shoe are you? He says, I'm a size 10 or 11. He says, I got some shoes in the box. He said, Pastor, can he go inside in the house that we have and look at them? And he came out, and he was so happy to get these nice, brand new Nike sneakers. And he looks at them. He says, I can have them? He says, yeah. He says, they're yours. Is it okay, Pastor? I said, brother, absolutely. It was just, you when you see people and you can be a resource center, that's what it's about. It's about getting the word and teaching as well. Because when people come, I'm going to break that word down to them and take every opportunity that we can. But at the same time, you have to feed people. Jesus told a group of people, he says, I know you only came for the fish and the loaves. It's amazing that he said that. He says, I know you only came for the fish and the loaves, came for the food. But while you were here, he gave them a good lesson. And that's what we do. And it's so great to be down there. I spent all day there Friday, and I said, this is my spot on Friday. I have a nice little office down there, and but the best office is outside. Now that we got the AstroTurf down, it's just outside. We have these heavy duty park tables, the heavy duty ones, and that's the best place. We have two of them, and I said, this is the best place to be at on a Friday, and putting the tents out and getting a couple of boxes of chicken and just sitting there opening up the word. And I said, man, this is going to be a nice hangout for the summer. And I'm going to go get 2 tents. That's why I like working, because when I want to go get 2 tents, I want to go get 2 tents. So I'm going to go get these 2 tents, and I want to put them up, and I want to sit down there with a cooler, with some water and soft drinks, and just get a couple of boxes of chicken and just sit there with some paper plates and just tell people, hey, grab it, get the food thongs out. You can buy them for whatever, a couple of dollars, and just get you some chicken. Sit down here and get some chairs out and just break bread. Literally break bread and open up their bread. And that's what we had the chance to do Friday. While we were working, we still dropped bread, and we brought out the chicken, brothers and sisters. A young man that was helping me, he's a school teacher, and he said, hey, I don't know what you're doing with that drilling thing, but let me have your car and I'll go get some chicken. And I did. I gave him some money. He went to go get some chicken. No, I got it, Brother Kaleem. I got your message, and I think I sent you I sent a reply back. But you said I sent a text, so okay, I'll check that out also. So he went to go get some chicken, and there were people. It was wonderful to see people just stop, and they said, what are y'all doing? Wow. And they were watching how we were laying down this AstroTurf. And they came and they said and just just fellowship and just break bread. It was awesome. Brother, shout out to Brother Lou. I gave him the channel. I don't know if he's watching or will watch this later, but shout out to Brother Lou. He's an older man down there, and he let us use his truck to go get the AstroTurf. And so kind of him. And we went to go get the AstroTurf, brought it back, and everybody just unloading it. Shout out to Brother Ed down there. And he just, Brother Jay, and we just rolled it out. And so the Brother Jay, he's a school teacher, he says, man, I've learned something today. He says, this was great. This was great. I actually learned something today. And I am a YouTube guy. Whenever I want to do something or learn how to do something, I go to YouTube. Whatever you want to do, you can look at it on YouTube. So I went to a YouTube channel, and I just typed in how to put down AstroTurf. That's what I did. How to put down AstroTurf. And I looked at it, and I said, I can do that. I can do that. So I didn't want to mess up. So I have a little small area in my backyard, and I did those areas, and it came out pretty good. I said, man, I can do this. So when we went to go get the AstroTurf, I framed the whole yard out, and of course it was a perfect front yard square. So I framed it out and put the wood along the edges where it was going to stop at, and drilled holes through the wood, took the wood, put it on the ground, and drove the long nails. These nails were at least about a foot long. They were aluminum nails about the size of a pencil, diameter of a pencil, and you hit the wood into the ground and it stays. It won't move. And then when we spread out the AstroTurf, you just staple it along the edges, pull it straight. And people were sitting there and they says, wow, I've never seen anything installed like that. Man, do you all do this? Is this, and they're looking to see if there's a company. And one lady drove up, her and her daughter, they were in their carts, and they said, can you come and down and do me next? So it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny because I says, this is the first time we've ever done this. Hey, Pastor, I show this Sabbath 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I got that message. Give me a call, Brother Kaleem. I text you my number. So just give me a call so we can have more discussion on it. Yeah, absolutely. I think that might be a good time. I'm not for sure because it would be our first week back this coming Sabbath. If we can do it the following Sabbath, it would probably be better. So yeah, send me some more information on it. But when I'm looking at that time, if it could be the next Sabbath, I think that would be better if you can do that. Since this is going to be our first Sabbath back, and we'll be letting out at 2:30. But I know that when we let out, I want to take a few minutes to we'll be ending the YouTube, the lesson at that time, but I want to take a few minutes to set people down to let them know what to expect in the weeks to come. And you got to kind of explain to people why we're not having lunch. So that may take some time. So let's consider that the following week, if that's okay. Shout out to Brother Mark P. in the chat room. All right, Brother Mark P. But, we're going to make the best of this recovery. It is a recovery. And and I'm watching. You know, I'm looking at a lot of different things, and to see how America is going to react to this recovery. And I'm going to go back and look at some history. I'm going to go back and read some history as to what happened after the Spanish flu in 1920. This is 2020, 2021. When the Spanish flu came in 1920, I want to go back and look at what was the reaction of the market, because things don't change. People react the same way. The economy will respond the same way. I want to go and look at it. I want to go to look at things to see how things are, and that's a wise thing to do. I want to go look and just say, okay, this is what to expect. How long did this pandemic last? And when you read the little reading that I've done about the Spanish flu in 1920, it was almost 7 or 8 years before they actually got control of the Spanish flu, where it was not spreading and killing people. Okay, it took that long. All right, so I would venture to say that even because of technology and information technology, getting information and word and education out, because we have different platforms or multiple platforms. I would venture to say if that took up to 8 years, I would say 4 years. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're going to be going through this probably this year and next year. It probably won't be until 2023 we'll start to see some change where we got on top of it. I would also say that you're going to probably see annual vaccinations being offered. Whether people take them or not, that's up. Like I said, that's up between you and your doctor. That's a personal decision. But I think you might see annual vaccinations come forth out of this. And we're just going to see. That's all. We're just going to see. We're going to see things improve on information about the virus so that we can better understand it. You may not know this, but when the Spanish flu came out in 1920, the reason why it took so long for them to even get on top of it, because they thought it was bacterial. Then they learned it was viral. So their approach was initially a bacterial remedy, and then later it was like almost 2-3 years later that they, maybe 4, I have to go back and read it, they realized that it was a virus. And so bacterial medicines are different from viral medicines. And so once they did that, they were able to deal with it. But it had done so much damage that it was too late. And then to get people informed and educated on it, back then people were ready to go back to school, open up you can look and you can just go to Google and you'll see people with signs up, open up our churches, open up the theaters. It was the industrial age. And you know what was out at that time? Cruise ships were out. They had started to have cruise ships for vacations. And I'm just gonna let me see if I can pull up 1920. I just want to look at some of the pictures, Spanish flu pandemic, just to kind of show it to you real quick. I'm going to go to images so that you can kind of see what they were dealing with back then. That it's not different from today. Uh, Look at that. Look at that. Look at some of the photos. Maybe if I click on one, there we go. Let's bring it over so you all can see it. You can kind of see what was happening back then. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger over on this side. Because I really want y'all to see this. Nope, that's not working. Okay. Let me go back to lock it. But I'm going to be able to pull some of those pictures up. I want to make them a little bit bigger so you all can see them. Let me just leave it right there and get rid of that calendar in the back. But look at this. There's people with, look at the bodies. Look at those bodies, a lot of bodies. That's not nothing to shake a stick at, brothers and sisters. That was big stuff back then. You can see, or maybe that's some sort of a place where they were treating everybody. Look at that. I mean, that's back in 1920. So many people, you don't have enough hospital beds. Got to have tents outside. Look at that. That was the Spanish flu in 1920. Look at that. That's that pandemic. And it's no different. It's just, look at that. I mean, it's no different than the coronavirus today, except you just got better beds and better hospitals and taller buildings, and that's it. But that's the Spanish flu in 1920. And look at this. It looks like somebody on some sort of ventilator system that they've got made up. You can see workers there. That's an ambulance, obviously, and they're just loading people up. I don't know if that's the coroner's office or what, but that's some of the things that they dealt with back in the 1920s. So, look at the bodies. I mean, looks like over in India just a few more days ago. Listen to this heading here. Let me see what it says here. 1918. Let me move this up so you all can see what it says. 1918 flu pandemic killed 12 million Indians, and that was in that particular country. Okay, so you can see that we're not what we're dealing with. This is nothing new under the sun. Okay, there's look at what they call this here, the economic effects of the Spanish flu. And when I told you I want to go read to see what are the economic effects, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go read it because it's not going to change. People's habits don't change. You just got computers today, that's all. There's a group of nurses, it looks like. I mean, you can just see they're just 1918. They call it, we called it COVID-19 because it came in 2019. You can see people were wearing face masks then, and to them, they didn't want to spread. They didn't want to spread anything. They didn't want to catch anything. So, people say, well, why do we have to wear these masks? You have to wear masks because that's what they did back then. And it helped. So, yeah. It looks like a group of nurses or someone there just getting things done. You can just see this affected everybody. Everybody. This says during Spanish flu pandemic, Oklahoma City something. So just like every area had to deal with this, just like what we're seeing here. Just carrying out the bodies. Spanish flu versus coronavirus. It's the same. It's the same thing. Those look like military people. Articles being written. And then there was a war going on. There was a war going on during the Spanish flu in 1918. Yeah. So when you look at this, this looks like some sort of arena event, and there's looks like somebody's got something in a concession, and here's people sitting down. We're gonna have to go through that. You're gonna have to go to a sporting event. People gonna be still wearing masks. Yeah. These just, here's a barber shop. Don't just look like today, except it's a state of the art barber shop we have now. Here's somebody getting in a haircut. The barber shops are open, but here's the barber with the mask on. So when people, they don't realize the world has been through this before. They're talking about somebody coughing here. Oh, he's spreading the virus. Yeah. And here's a group of nurses who say, if I fail, he dies. Yeah. So, police officers, everybody's got their, looks like they had a roll call someplace, and everybody's got their mask on. Yeah, this is nothing new, brothers and sisters. Well, enough of that. I just wanted to kind of show it to you. Here it is. Spanish influenza has endangered the prosecution of the war in Europe. There are something cases in the Navy Yard. 30 deaths have already resulted. Spitting spreads Spanish influenza. Don't spit. So I guess somebody thought spitting spreads it. It's amazing. Just some articles out there. Here's looks like somebody, he's got his own contraption. Here he's got something coming out of the can that he thinks is going to kill the influenza virus. Looks like what we're doing today, except ours have, you know, that's looks like the war. Here's a lady working. She's an operator. She's got her mask on. Yeah. So, it's interesting to see some of that stuff and to look at what people are going to be doing. So the only thing I can tell you, brothers and sisters, we have to just get prepared. And this thing is going to be here for a while. It's not the first time this has happened. And when we reopen, that's all. We just need to educate ourselves so we know how to minimize things. That's all. So again, this Sabbath, 12:30, praise and worship starts. The Bethel class will be open. All of the Israel of God classes are going to be reopening. So let's get back to it, and let's be mindful. Let's continue the practicing of the social distancing to the best that we can in that setting. Come on in, sit down. If you're not feeling well that day, don't come, but stay tuned in. We still will be going live every Sabbath at 1 o'clock p.m. Although we'll be starting internally at 12:30 for praise and worship, but we'll be coming on live at 1. Okay? If the audio and the music is on point, we'll bring you that praise and worship as well. But I'm going to have to, they're going to have to convince me that we're not going to be getting distortion where it's just not pleasant to listen to. That's all. I want things right on the audio. Other than that, we'll be starting at 12:30, coming live at 1. Unless everything's together, we'll be coming live at 12:30. But definitely at 1 o'clock for the lesson. So that being said, I had a good time with you all tonight, just sharing and breaking bread. Shout out to all of you all that are in the chat room. And please spread the message. We are reopening. We have reopened. It's official. Look forward to seeing you this coming Sabbath. And it's going to be great and grand to see you all. So that being said, I'm going to get out of here, but we're going to end with some Brother DePaul Prophet, Brother Phil, Luciano, and that whole, that's how we're going to end tonight, okay? And just play these brothers. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to be a part of us tonight and what we're doing. So that being said, you have a wonderful work week. We'll be here tomorrow night for Come On In My Room at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. God bless you and have a good night.
name Simeon, Reuben, Joseph, Levi, Asher, Dan, Gad, Issachar, Naphtali, Zebulun, Benjamin, Judah. Can't forget about Judah. From that tribe came a ruler. But that's another lesson. Let's stick to what's at question. Before Cuban links, why a noose was our necklace. Before gang signs, we had signs up in heaven. See, he made this nation to be priest. Gave him 10 commandments, told him keep. Then that nation then replied, we'll do everything you speak, not true. We had broken before he had got through. Them blessings came and went like I chew. Time after time, God was like, I got you. Foul after foul, so that tech he had to throw. That's them curses, sinning on purpose, sinning like no other. The nation of Israel became a color from 2 continents. The confusion put them on ships, no illusion. Ships, remember? Shipment like equipment, but that shipment heaven sent. My people, please hit your knees and repent. Open up this book and just read the evidence. I'm saying. Black history, Israel history. Black is just a color, man. Truth, boss. You ready for that great day of the Lord? Yeah, this gonna be the realest track you ever heard. In Jesus' name.
When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. I see blood, I see fire, crying, I see dying. Oh God, it's the time. He said vengeance is mine.
Look at the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh my God, it is God. What do I do? How did I live? Did I repent? Did I forgive? He said I was saved. Was he for real? Is that fire? God kills? Hold up, let me pull it together. Remember that brother said keep the commandments. Also he said remember the Sabbath. Was I tripping? All in my feelings? The ways of the world, I love being in it. Can I rewind, go back for a minute? I'll eat what is clean, I'll keep all his feasts. The preacher that preached, he looked like a sheep. Took all my money, said Jesus was sweet. Now look at my hand, the mark of the beast. I'm hoping these rocks fall on me. Can't blame them, it's all on me. I had the chance to walk in his truth. I had the chance to keep his commands. I had the chance to learn his plan, but I chose tradition of man. Can it be another way? I got all this money, can I pay? Is it my time? Is it too late? Oh my God, look at his face. Hold up, wait, it's judgment day. Judgment day. I should have humbled down. I should have got understanding. I should have listened.
When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. I see blood, I see fire, crying, I see dying. Oh God, it's the time. He said vengeance is mine. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. I see blood, I see fire, crying, I see dying. Oh God, it's the time. He said vengeance is mine.
I'm standing in line, who are these people? John, he was a preacher. Miss Anita calling on Jesus. She had the food, feeding the people. Paul was a believer. Hold up, who deceived us? Said we ain't gotta keep the law. Jesus came, died, did it all. Confused by the books of Paul. Hold up, why we ain't raptured off? Wasn't no killer, wasn't no dealer, but I guess transgression of his law made me a sinner. What do I do? Knew it was coming, I needed the proof. I should've read the old and the new. Got understanding and walking is truth. Look, don't let this happen to you. Listen to me, I'm talking to you. Don't do what the world do. Putting holidays over holy days. Putting the first day over the 7th day. Now I'm standing in line, gotta wait. Hoping my name on the page. If written, I'm living forever. If not, I'm burning with devils. Oh my God, I should've did better. Now I'm judged by every letter. I should have known I couldn't just live by faith. I should have kept the law, statutes, and commandments like Abraham.
When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. I see blood, I see fire, crying, I see dying. Oh God, it's the time. He said vengeance is mine. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. When the king coming through, you better make sure that you ready. I see blood, I see fire, crying, I see dying. Oh God, it's the time. He said vengeance is mine.
But after thy hardness and impenitent heart treasureth up unto thyself wrath, against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds. To them who by patient continuance in well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath. Romans 2. Great day is coming. Praise the Most High God in His Son Jesus' name. Truth, boss.
Where'd you find this? This is so sick.
What's good, brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Let's see, man.
I'm telling you, bro, this is the truth. It's the truth.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Brother Earl?
Luciano, bro. Welcome.
Brother Prop.
What's up,
Brother
man?
Prop, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Brother Prop, Brother Earl.
We here just kicking book, you know what I'm saying? You got yourself a Bible, man?
Nah, I mean, I don't really read the Bible.
Hey, man, you remember what I told you, bro? You know what I'm saying? We take our hats
Oh,
off.
this-
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what y'all in? Y'all in, you know what I'm saying?
First Thessalonians 5.
First Thessalonians. You good, bro?
Good Bible.
It's in the New Testament.
What was it? The coming?
The coming of the Lord.
The coming of the Lord. That's right. That's right. That's right. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as others do, as do others. But let us watch and be sober.
Let us watch.
I tell you.
And he ain't
For
talking
they-
about, go ahead, keep going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me
Yes,
tell
sir.
you something. For they that sleep, sleep in the night. And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
You talking about that?
Excuse me, bro. You know, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt y'all or nothing, man, but hey, Phil, bro, I'm a little busy, bro. I got some stuff to take care of, and I ain't really feeling this for real. I'm gonna go ahead. I
What's wrong,
appreciate
bro? You
y'all
ain't getting
time. I mean, I really don't believe this stuff for real. If you want to, you know, I mean, I do appreciate y'all time, though.
Yeah.
You know,
God bless you, bro.
already, man. I appreciate
Well, I
y'all.
hope your mind changed. Nice meeting you, fam.
Already, likewise.
Brother Earl?
Man, I need to talk to you, bro. I'm looking for you,
What's
man.
wrong, bro? What
I
happened?
can't do this no more, man. I'm tired of this, man.
What you talking about, bro?
Hitting cars, hitting licks, stealing, man. I can't, man. I'm feeling so guilty on the inside. Tell me, bro, what I need to do.
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.